We have quite a lot of subjects to discuss today. The year is still fresh and young, but it feels like nothing has changed since the beginning of this year. Subjects to consider today are Bitcoin. The hype is continuing. In any case, it's even getting stronger. It's now supported by quite a few important agencies, whether it's major fund managers that try to jump on the fast-moving train, or whether it's regulators like the SEC in the United States. Everybody wants to get in and make some money. We will talk about Bitcoin a bit later. There are also lots of Ponzi schemes that are happening at the moment, whether it's crypto Ponzi or general Ponzi schemes that try to get at people's money. The next one is the EU. The EU is again trying to step up its fight against money laundering. Unfortunately, this is the wrong target. The states would do much better to combat crime that is often the result of bad legislation. There's also the talk about soft landing or hard landing. Are the central banks going to reduce rates, or are they going to keep them at the present higher level or even increase them? That's another subject that should be of interest. And then the geopolitical situation, whether it's the Ukraine, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's Taiwan, whether it's the mass movement of migrants to Europe and the United States, all these weigh on the investment outlook for this year. And last but not least, and in a way most important, a lot of you get their performance reports from the fund manager or private banker for the last year. And I would say if you are confused, you're probably not alone and may need some extra help and support in analyzing these numbers. A lot of you basically just put them into the folder marked investments and just don't bother to look at it anymore. But I would suggest that it is really worth your while to spend a little bit of time making sense of the numbers and looking at the possibility of improving your performance or reducing your risk or reducing the costs of having your money managed. Now, starting again with Bitcoin, I read an interesting comment on one of the YouTube videos that I watch. And again, people that support Bitcoin and crypto claim that it is money and that the governments have no control over the way your money is being spent. And it is amazing how stubborn they are, because basically the governments have full control over Bitcoin, crypto, what you do with it. Basically, the moment you want to use crypto, in most cases, you have to exchange it into real money, legal tender. And that means you have to go through one of the banking institutions. And the banking institutions are heavily regulated. And what is even more important, the government can see exactly what happens in your account. So if you want to transfer Bitcoin into real money, you are basically betting that the government just doesn't really bother to look. But with current technology, it's that easy for the governments to switch to a 24-hour real-time supervision of all these activities. So basically, I would say crypto, it's a nice toy. It's a nice investment vehicle. It's a nice gambling vehicle. And you could say that gold, in a way, or even shares, are basically nothing else but betting slips, because whoever really sees the gold he's buying or selling. And talking about gold, it's all very well to say, oh yes, I put my gold into my garden, I hide it in the basement. Nobody will ever know that I have this gold. Yes, good luck to you, because it also means that you are at risk of some scamsters, because uh, you don't really know what the gold that you buy is. Is it real gold, or is it just the outside skin that's gold and inside it's basically worthless metal? So be very careful. Gold might be a tempting asset class, but you have to be very, very careful how you buy it, where you buy it. You can also be tracked by the government again. So I would say beware of the gold hype, as you should beware of the crypto hype. The EU came up with a new idea to combat money laundering. Just this week, it was announced that all the European Union states should agree that 10,000 euros is the maximum that can be used in cash to pay for any business transaction. Now, I don't think that makes one bit of difference on the crime rate. Most of the crime that happens in the world is the outcome of bad legislation, whether it's anti-drugs, whether it's heavy regulations and duties that are just a tempting target to circumvent, whether it's anti-prostitution laws that basically drive prostitution into the secret world that crime basically thrives on. So a not very good outlook, and this just is another step in the way that governments want to control your money. So the longer it goes on, the less you have your money. You're just allowed to have your money for a temporary time, and until the useless political class decides that it has better uses for your money. Is it really important to think too much about where the economies are going? Hard landing, soft landing, interest rates lower or higher? I would say a famous investor once said he basically spends about 5 minutes on the economy, and the rest is basically trying to select the best investment vehicles for his portfolio. I would say it's not totally unimportant to look at what the central banks do, where interest rates are going to be manipulated to. But you can also guess the wrong way, because in 2023, interest rates shot up. You would think that this is very negative for the stock markets, but in effect, the effect was basically zero. The stocks went up, especially in the United States, but held up reasonably well in some other countries. And therefore, this simple rule, interest rates up or down, stock market therefore up or down, doesn't really work all the time. So after covering a lot of subjects, I would say it's not going to be an easy year, a lot of people say. But to be honest, in my more than 50 years of investment practice, and I would say no year was ever easy. I don't remember a year that was easy. And therefore, I think one thing is certain: you should try to limit your risk, you should try to streamline your performance, and you should also keep costs of managing your money at a very low level. So if you find this video useful, please give me a like so that other people get pointed towards my channel, and maybe recommend the channel for friends and colleagues that you think could be interested in it. And if you have any need for some personal advice, I can give you advice on a personal basis for a reasonable fee. That is basically in line with what professionals in the law or in the medical sector charge. And I just don't give you clear investment advice in terms of what stocks to buy or sell. I'm not a registered investment advisor. I'm more sort of advisor on the other three aspects that I just mentioned to you. So thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again next week.